Internal reports suggest the front office is evaluating a potential exit for their star wide receiver to maximize trade value before 2026. Simultaneously, the defensive coordinator is considering retirement, creating immediate uncertainty. Subscribe for updates on these developing reports. Like this video as we break down these high-stakes roster moves.
Sources within the league have brought to light a developing situation regarding the future of A.J. Brown in Philadelphia, and it is a narrative that goes squarely against the grain of public perception. According to a recent insider report, the Eagles front office is internally evaluating the long-term viability of Brown's tenure, with signs pointing toward a potential separation before the 2026 season. This is not a reaction to on-field production. Brown remains an elite Tier 1 receiver, but rather a cold, calculated assessment of the salary cap landscape and roster flexibility. We know how Howie Roseman operates. He is an executive who historically prefers to exit contracts a year too early rather than a year too late to maximize return value. With the wide receiver market resetting annually at astronomical numbers, and with Devonta Smith also commanding significant capital, the allocation of resources is coming under the microscope. The report suggests that the Eagles are wary of carrying two massive receiver contracts alongside a franchise quarterback deal deep into the future. The 2026 timeline is significant because it likely represents a contractual out or a peak in trade value, where the return on investment would be highest. For the Eagles faithful, this is a jarring possibility. Brown has been the engine of this offense, the physical presence that dictates coverage and allows the rest of the scheme to function. Removing him changes the fundamental DNA of the passing attack. We have to consider the ripple effect this would have on the quarterback position. Jalen Hurts has built a specific chemistry and reliance on Brown's ability to win contested catches. If the front office decides to move him, they aren't just trading the player, they are betting that they can replace elite production with younger, cheaper assets, a gamble that often defines the difference between a sustained dynasty and a rebuild. This situation is fluid, but the smoke is starting to build around the idea that Brown's days in Midnight Green have a definitive expiration date. However, the potential shakeup in Philadelphia isn't limited to the offensive huddle. There is breaking news concerning the defensive leadership that could have an even more immediate impact on the 2025 campaign. You need to hear what is happening with the coaching staff right now, so keep watching as we break down a major development on the defensive side.
Turning the page to the defensive side of the ball, the stability of the Eagles coaching staff is suddenly in question, with emerging reports surrounding defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. Insiders are now indicating that retirement is a very real possibility for the veteran play caller, a move that would force Philadelphia into an unplanned and potentially chaotic search for a new defensive leader. Fangio's arrival was viewed as a move to professionalize and stabilize the unit, but rumors of his departure suggest that the grind of the NFL season may be weighing heavily on his decision-making process for the immediate future. If Fangio does indeed step away, the implications for the Eagles' defensive roster are profound. This roster was retooled specifically to fit his complex zone match principles, prioritizing athletic linebackers and versatile safeties who can disguise coverages. Losing the architect of that scheme puts the front office in a bind. Do they try to find a disciple from the Fangio coaching tree to maintain continuity, or do they pivot entirely to a new philosophy? The latter would require a significant adjustment period for young cornerstones like Jalen Carter and Nakobe Dean, who are just now settling into their roles within this specific system. Furthermore, the timing here is the enemy. The NFL coaching carousel moves fast. If Fangio waits too long to make this decision official, the top tier of coordinator candidates will already be signed elsewhere, leaving the Eagles to pick from a depleted pool of talent. This is the nightmare scenario for a team with Super Bowl aspirations, entering the offseason with uncertainty at one of the most critical coaching positions. We are monitoring this hour by hour, as the decision will dictate the entire strategy for free agency and the draft. To recap, the Eagles are facing a pivotal moment with potential exits for both their top offensive weapon in the near future and their defensive play caller right now. It is a lot to process. I want to hear from you. Do you trust the front office to navigate a potential A.J. Brown trade? And who is your dream candidate to replace Fangio if he retires? Let me know in the comments. For constant updates on these stories as they break, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is the insider coverage you can trust.